Let's get into the fanfic section.
Yes.
We're now actually 10 minutes behind.
We've got a lot of donations to get through, huh? That's how it goes.
So we had 4 fanfics submitted.
Yep.
We didn't quite get to read all of them because some of them are quite long. But we've taken 2 each, and we're basically just gonna kind of walk through them.
Yeah, give a bit of a summary of them, talk about what we thought about them, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. How y'all's voice is doing? My voice
Yeah,
is
I'm
fine.
actually fine. Yeah,
The voice isn't the part of me that's hurting.
my
right
voice
now.
is nourished by this disgusting vomit drink.
Yeah. No. Yeah. My voice isn't the thing that I'm worried about right now.
Yeah. Do you want to take us through some of your fanfic?
Yeah. I want
Do you want me to fill up your
to start with the
water
first one I read. No, I'm pretty good. Cheers. So just to sort of tell Reuben while he's over there in the audience, the first fanfic I read was called Rule 1 Don't Lie by Rhydeble. And this was submitted to us by Juanson. So I guess to summarize this story...
Is this pure Pact fanfic? Or is there
Yes. Just
in there?
raw Pact. And in fact, it's like original characters. So it's set in Zurich. And basically the plot is we start and we follow the perspective of this guy called Felipe, who's part of this like secret underground organization in Zurich called the Lords of Blood and Bone.
Okay.
And they're basically like, you know, it's like everything you sort of hear about, you know, like the Freemasons being like
like a secret society.
Like a secret society, but they don't actually think magic is real.
Okay.
So they basically just do this because everyone else who's powerful in the city is doing it, and they think it's kind of fun. So what happens in the first chapter is there's like a meeting of this society, and the mid-tier members called priests try to offer new potential recruits, and the partners, who are the leaders, and Felipe is one of them, decide whether to accept these offerings. And if they do, then the priests get points which help them move to become partners in the future. So basically the priests are incentivized to find the best people to join this sort of secret cult. Again, they wear robes, they do rituals, but none of it's actual practice.
So it's like a multi-level marketing kind of thing.
Yeah. And so we see a few here. Like there's a prominent new soccer player, which is obviously big in Germany, who joins the cult, and that gets that priest a lot of points. And then one of the last priests, whose name because they all have like cult names.
Sure.
One of them is named Fox, and he brings in an old scroll which just details this weird ritual. And I really like the way it's kind of made clear to us, the readers of Pact, that it's the awakening ritual. It's like you make 4 circles, and it starts to list, we need holly, and we need like,
this is great. This is such an interesting story.
Yeah. And so what ends up happening is they decide to accept Fox's thing, give him points as a priest, and then all the partners are like, hey, let's do this ritual thing for a laugh, because I guess that's what these rich people want to do, which is kind of fair enough. Anyway, so they do it, and one thing I want to point out here is Felipe, a couple of times in this chapter, really brings up how important his family is to him. So there's actually one where one of the people being offered to join the cult, it ends up being a tie with all the other partners. So his vote is the one that decides whether she makes it. Right. And she's meant to be this young, attractive artist, and she basically says she'll do whatever she wants with her mind or her body to get in. And he's like, no, I love my wife, and dismisses her. And then again, in his awakening ritual, he sees images of his family. So it really sets him up as this family sort of guy. And we'll come back to that, because what happens is the second chapter immediately introduces us to what he does during the day when he's not in this cult of people secretly running Zurich, which is he's a really shifty businessman. And in fact, he makes his money out of lying to people and bribery and blackmail. And he accidentally took the awakening ritual just now.
Oh my God, that's great. It's like, what's the one? It's a Jim Carrey movie where he can't lie and he's a lawyer. Liar.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fun. Like, I do think this story takes a bit of fun with just making some of the metaphors impact quite literal. Yeah. With this whole secret society of people running the place.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Felipe and this other partner get offered candy by an old lady who, when Hans lies and says he likes her candy, she's like, oh, you shouldn't have lied. And then she eats him.
Oh,
and
I see.
and then another the fox comes in, the person who gave him the ritual, and it turns out he's a fairy who just decided to fuck with the society.
Good on
And
him.
he's like, her going for Hans first was a bit on the nose, and that was when it clicked for me.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's clever.
Yeah. What's the name of that? Like the Wicked Candy Witch?
Yeah, just the witch.
Does it have a name? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Candy Witch from Hans Christian Andersen.
Anyway, so then Felipe sort of tries to get away. He starts to pick up on some of the rules from a conversation where Fox tries to get him to lie. Crashes his bike, meets the spirit of Oktoberfest, who kind of helps him find his way home. And then the third chapter kind of ends abruptly because I think this is actually the end of the story, which I got really into this.
Yeah.
But he kind of wakes up the next day, finds that the fox, or aka Makor, has just run off with his family, and he's going to have to find them. But it's okay because he's got that girl who offered her body to him that he crashed into on his bike later, who is named Evangeline, and she's drunk but still on side, and this spirit of Oktoberfest who kind of likes him.
And so, you said the fox left a note for him?
Yes.
And what did the fox say?
No, I almost did it.
Got him.
Yeah, so that is rule 1, don't lie.
Sounds really interesting.
I'm a little disappointed it didn't continue. I actually started to get into it, which is not something I expected from the fanfic.
Yeah. No, I feel, I'm so bummed that it just ends there. I was really getting invested in your story.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought, if maybe a little bit on the nose, I thought it really did a good job of adapting the world of Pact to Zurich and having fun with it.
Yeah.
I was excited to see more of how Felipe coped with the fact that his entire foundation of his day job was now out of the window, that he couldn't blackmail and bribe people.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a fun twist on this vibe of like why lying is actually bad for a human, because you can't do all this fucked up shit.
Yes.
So I took a look at a piece of fanfic. Maybe you could post it in chat, Elliot, if you are able to. This was a piece of fanfiction called Knights of Broken Swords. And Elliot's going to post the link in chat. Basically, this was a cross-fiction, otherwise known as a slash-fiction, between Pact and the Dresden Files. And if you know what the Dresden Files is, it's a kind of... it's another kind of system of magic, a series of books that exists about magic. Everyone loves that I keep referring to it as slash fiction. That's great. It's a Dresden Files Pact crossover. Specifically, the title is Knights of Broken Swords because it's about Blake, who obviously has the hyena, a broken sword, and a character called Butters, who is this kind of, I guess, like a paladin style character, and he has this really powerful sword that has a broken hilt, and so that's the kind of tie here. So this is a 8 chapter story, and I really enjoyed it, even though I've never actually read any Dresden Files. I had no idea who these characters were. I really found myself getting into it, and I think there were some parts where I really just didn't get some stuff because I don't know the Dresden Files, but on the whole I really enjoyed it, and I found the Blake and Evan voice actually really landed for me, which was great.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, thanks, Kirkistan. Basically, the story is the first chapter actually follows this guy called Carl, and he's kind of driving back from an urgent delivery with his girlfriend Jenny. He's a delivery driver, and they had planned on having a date, but he got an urgent call from this company that he sometimes does urgent deliveries for, saying, "Do this, we'll pay you like 10 grand. It's really important. Do this job."
Yep.
And so he does it, and they postpone their date, and they're driving back from a successful delivery when he hits a patch of black ice near a small town near Toronto and crashes.
Near Toronto.
Well, but
I know what that means.
Right, but here's the thing. This story doesn't take place in the world of Pact. So Jacob's Bell does not exist in this story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get to it. So he crashes, and he kind of has this bad feeling on the way back. He crashes his car, and the first chapter is full of him and Jenny having these really interesting moments, right? It's beautiful. So he crashes his car, and we get this little bit where these weird, like, robed characters, come up to him and place this totem, this small, like figurine next to the van. And Carl awakens in the crashed car and tries to kind of rescue himself and his girlfriend. He's a magician. He's a magician in the world of Dresden Files. He tries to do this ritual to save him and his girlfriend, but unfortunately this ritual to summon help doesn't work in time. Unfortunately, this figurine comes to life and it possesses him, and that's where the chapter ends.
Okay.
And so what happens next is we're in Blake and Evan's perspective. They've been pulled into this universe.
So it's a different perspective for the second chapter.
Yes,
Okay.
completely different perspective. from Blake and Evan's perspective, they get pulled into this universe and they're kind of getting tracked to something, and they end up finding their way to this van. They've gotten pulled into this world. They find their way to this van, and they realize they've been summoned by this ritual that Carl did to bring in help. So they find their way to this van, and as they get there, they see this monster tearing its way out of the van, and they find that whatever this monster is, it's eaten Jenny, his girlfriend, and escaped. And so clearly we find out now that Carl has like gone monster, and now Blake and Evan are tasked with hunting down Carl. The third chapter, we switch perspective again, and now we're following Butters and Bob, who are characters from the Dresden Files. Butter is this like paladin knight that I mentioned, and Bob is a librarian skull, I guess is the best. He's like a skull that floats along, but he's also like knows a lot of shit.
Okay.
Now we're following Butters and Bob. Basically, the rest of the story is they start following this thing as well. They figure out it's a Wendigo, which is a supernatural North American supernatural myth, cannibal kind of yeti thing, I guess. They start following it as well, and they realize that Blake and Evan, some creatures from another dimension, are here. And so eventually they're both tracking down this monster. They reunite. They fight the Wendigo a few times. They have a few really cool fights where these characters are interacting in really funny ways. Blake and Butters have a really interesting dynamic because this is Arc 13 Blake, so he's pure hunt down the evil mode. And Butters is like a very lawful good kind of character. Like he's here to save people. He's here to save Carl. He makes Blake swear that he won't kill Carl because he thinks Carl is still in this Wendigo. Things like that, and there's really like interesting conflicts of ideology. And then there's Evan, who plays off of Bob in a really fun way because Bob is this kind of all-knowing thing that doesn't understand Evan, and Evan is this like mysterious enigma who's really interested in and excited about finding out about this world. And it's just like these really fun character beats that really work. That really just work in a really interesting way. Even though I had never met Butters, I found myself really, really enjoying him as a character. He's like a Jewish Christian knight. He's like Jewish, but he's like a Christian paladin, and it's this really interesting like conflict of ideologies that made Butters such an interesting character to me, and it makes me want to read Dresden Files, honestly. But yeah, that was I just really enjoyed it. The ending is they do end up overpowering Carl and getting ready to save him, but he basically ends his life rather than going on as knowing that he's eaten his girlfriend and murdered a bunch of people and stuff.
Okay. Neat.
Yeah, it's really good. I really loved it. It was really great.
So next up we had ManMagnificent's Familiar, which was submitted by both Kirkistan and Megafire.
I'll post this one in the thing.
And this is a Pact and Worm slash fic. That's what we're calling them, right?
Thanks.
So I didn't actually get to finish this one because...
say it, Elliot.
It goes for like 3 whole arcs, and they're like proper chapter length, proper arc length. I did not anticipate it actually being so fleshed out, so I only read the first really 2 chapters. So yeah, I mean, it actually seems to still be ongoing, but the too long didn't read idea of the premise is that Taylor was actually killed by Tag or Alexandria. While Taylor was trying to kill Tag in Alexandria, Miss Militia just shot her, which, sure. And, didn't quite kill her, I guess, because Taylor ended up in the Abyss, and then she gets summoned by Molly, who sort of needed something that was a surprise. So she asked the Abyss for something completely out of left field, and the Abyss gave her Taylor, which kind of fits that bill, if you ask me. So, I mean, yeah, like from there, it kind of turns into this whole... Taylor and Molly trading information about Pact and Worm to get caught up on what each other can do.
So does Taylor still have bug powers here?
Yes, but only when she's not like bound in a circle. So that's kind of like the interesting spin on it. Molly and Taylor actually discuss signing Taylor up to the Seal of Solomon, and Taylor eventually agrees to it because she learns like becoming a boogeyman means you lose your humanity, and she's like, I don't want that to happen to me, which feels like a direct call out to Blake. But yeah, eventually she does sort of sign up to the Seal. I think the thing that I did like about this is Molly, I think, was a good choice of a character because we know enough about her that I was like, this actually feels like Molly.
Yeah. Like
but
pre-Ghost Molly.
Yeah, but we don't know enough about Molly for that to be like too easily challenged. Like the thing,
Walbo says in chat, would Taylor submit to a system of authority?
yeah,
Fair point.
it was kind of an ultimatum that was put on her. Like they discuss it, and Taylor sees the benefits, and she doesn't want to lose herself to
Agency,
the boogeyman.
yeah.
And then Molly's just kind of like, "I'm going to send you back to the abyss if you don't," and it kind of pushes Taylor to do it.
Yeah, I could see it's you got to get
The Molly
right?
voice felt more authentic to me than the Taylor voice, and that's probably because Molly's a good choice because we didn't see too much of her in action.
Yeah.
So like there was a nervous, panicky energy to Molly, which is kind of as much as we knew of her.
Yeah.
So it suited.
Yeah. D-Dev says she does famously react well to ultimatums.
She didn't have her powers though at this point.
Fair.
Because in fact, what she does is she does get her powers
What's
and then
she gonna do?
completely
Shoot
turn
a
it on
baby?
Molly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She does kind of overpower Molly using her thinking skills. And it is fun watching Taylor just like figure out the goblins and the boogeymen that are tormenting Molly.
That's the thing I love about fan fiction is you can kind of have this like pure audience.
It's all like
fan
fan service. Yeah,
exactly.
So watching Taylor kind of dunk on these goblins, figure out the rules, and just trying to like distract them because they didn't realize that her bug versions of herself could be her. Like, so I don't know. I didn't read more than those 2 chapters. It's sort of I was like, I think I get what this is, and it was fine. I enjoyed the original one a bit more personally, but like I don't know, it was good.
Cool.
I'm very excited to hear about you from this. Hear from you about this other one.
Yes. So my final one was a story called Aspects, which was an interesting one. It was a big slash fic with a bunch of characters, a kind of orgy of slash fiction.
Okay, we've got to stop doing that, or people are going to lose it.
It was a crossover between Harry Potter, Twig, Worm, and Pact, all in one big story.
Which just seems to me like I'm so interested to hear how that goes because that sounds like a fucking mess.
Well, so here's the theory here's the kind of one sentence premise, right? Is the protagonists of Harry Potter, Twig, Worm, and Pact, all after the conclusion of their stories, get sent back into kind of 11-year-old bodies and go to Hogwarts. And so we've got...
Okay,
I know.
Sure.
So I'll talk through it kind of linearly. I didn't finish this one because there was a lot in here. Hashirama says this is the same author as the previous one.
This is ManMagnificent again, and again this was submitted by Kyrgyzstan and
Megafire. I quite liked it, but again it was very ambitious. It was a bit wild. So it starts with Sylvester as our main character, and he gets thrust into this world. He meets Hermione, Professor McGonagall, and Taylor. And the thing is, the 4 main characters here, who are Harry, Sylvester, Taylor, and Blake. Well, and Evan actually is here too for some reason.
Sure.
Oh, and Genevieve Frey, who is a character from Twig, is also here.
Okay.
Anyway, they've all been sent back to their younger bodies, kind of, and they all know that they're kind of in this world out of place, including Harry. Harry knows that he has gone back in time and is now reliving
Wait, so is
the
it Harry
experiences.
Potter at the end of the Harry Potter
At
series?
the end of the Harry Potter series, but he's sent back in time. And so one of the first things he does is he gives Dumbledore a list of the Horcruxes. These are Voldemort's Horcruxes. Go and deal with these. And it's so perfect. It's like methods of rationality level Harry Potter. It's great. Sylvester goes back in time and he basically starts setting up his lambs, which is his kind of group, trying to find people that he wants to work with. And presumably he's going to pull in Harry, Taylor, and Blake, right?
Sure.
And so we get Sylvester, and he's like going through the welcome to the world. He goes to Diagon Alley. He gets the stuff. We get a chapter from Blake's point of view. Blake is like a pureblood wizarding family, and him and Rose and Evan all know that they're from their original world, and they've been sent back. Yes, they're actually twins, Blake and Rose. And they get this vibe of what would their family be like if it wasn't for the inheritance hanging over them, because they start hanging out with Peter and Paige. And Peter and Paige are like being brother and sister, or like twins, and like fighting each other, but not in a way where they actually hate each other.
Yeah,
in a
just
way
like
of,
general sibling.
Exactly, like bickering.
Okay.
And it's so strange, but it's actually a really fun vibe. And then Blake is out shopping, and suddenly Evan is there. And Evan has just bought his pet owl that he's named Blake because he misses Blake. And he's like, "Oh my god!"
Wait, so
it's
is Evan a human?
Evan
boy?
is a human boy that is also from a pureblood family and about the same age as Blake.
Oh,
so some of this stuff is absolutely wild. And as I was in like chapter 3, I thought, okay, the whole point of this fan fiction existing is so that people can sort these characters into
Oh
Harry
yeah,
Potter
we've got to get
houses,
to the
right?
sorting
Yeah,
hat.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because this is
Like,
the reason I
Can
read
I
it.
try and guess?
Yeah,
who
so
ended up in
I
what?
want people to pick in chat
Yeah.
which of the Harry Potter houses Blake, Rose, Taylor, Sylvester, Evan, and well, that's it. Get sorted into.
Okay.
Oh, weirdly, Hermione gets sorted into Ravenclaw, and Harry from the future is like, "Wait, what the fuck's going on here? Why is Hermione in
isn't that a thing?
Ravenclaw?"
I think my sister has talked to me about that. That's like a big thing in the fandom that Hermione should have been a Ravenclaw. I
Yeah,
don't know.
right. And I guess this is the correcting that mistake.
Okay.
So we've got some interesting ones here. We've got some
Yeah,
answers.
Blake has to be Gryffindor. I was thinking the same thing.
D-Dev, yeah. Memon says Rose is Ravenclaw. Blake Hufflepuff comes from Welwick.
So okay, is this unfair to Rose? Again, I've only read the first 4 Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
And / movies. I could see Rose being a Slytherin. Just gonna put it out there.
Yeah, me too. We've got Sylvester is the evil one, Slytherin is shit, which I totally agree with. Evan Hufflepuff, Blake Gryffindor.
Evan Hufflepuff. That's mean.
I mean, it's true. Hufflepuff. So this is the thing. Hufflepuff is dunked on a lot, but Hufflepuff is like the loyalty house, right?
I was actually gonna ask what it is because I know of Slytherin is kind of smart and sneaky.
So here's how I kind of
Gryffindor
define
is
them.
brave,
Yeah.
Ravenclaw is nerdy,
Yep.
and Hufflepuff is the rest.
Well, Hufflepuff is like loyalty, is how
Okay,
I always
okay,
kind of saw it.
sure.
So Gryffindor bravery, Slytherin cunning, Ravenclaw like
Cunning, I like that.
smarts,
Yep.
and Hufflepuff loyalty, which are of course the 4 key components of every human being. So should we go? Do you have some guesses for me?
Yeah, okay. So I haven't read Twig, but I saw some people in the chat, and from the very little I know about Slytherin seems
Yes,
like a shoo-in.
100% size Slytherin. That's full on.
So Blake, I mean, I feel like Gryffindor. It has to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. I can see Gryffindor or Hufflepuff for Blake. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, because if you're looking at it from the loyalty angle, sure.
Yeah.
Evan, again, Evan would be in the same house as Blake, right?
Yeah. Well.
That's my guess. Does any wait? Yeah, Evan's got to be Wildbow, Blake and Evan Gryffindor. Yeah, I agree.
Wildbow's given us the word of God on this.
Taylor is Slytherin. Yeah.
Taylor's
I
so
see that.
Slytherin, right?
Rose equals Ravenclaw. That's interesting. I would have put Rose in Slytherin a bit, not because she's evil,
Yeah,
but
she's got a bit of that cunning, but also Ravenclaw
Yeah.
does fit her, I think.
Yeah.
So here's the answers. Do you want to hear? So
Okay.
Sylvester, Slytherin. That's like, no one could fuck that up. Blake and Evan get sorted into Hufflepuff, which I'm kind of like, I think they'd more be Gryffindors, but Hufflepuff works. Rose gets sorted into Ravenclaw, and now here's the one that literally made me lose it. Taylor gets sorted into Gryffindor, which to me is like the one house that she, of course, wouldn't be in.
No.
It's so not her, and I actually lost the plot of this. It was a real yeah, I love Taylor. She's a Gryffindor because that's the cool house moment. And that's as far as I got through the fan fiction. When I saw that Taylor got sorted into Gryffindor, I was like, yeah, whatever. One more thing about this fanfic, actually, was the old Harry Potter was so interesting to me. And I guess it was just because I was missing methods of rationality a bit. But having a Harry Potter that already knows how everything goes, it made it so interesting. The twist is that that some other baddie, potentially Voldemort, potentially someone else, has also come back and is also knows what happened. So Harry is playing this 3D chess, 8D chess, while another character is also doing that. But
that's always a fun premise. Like that's the premise of the sort of some of the Groundhog Day type stories you can get where it's 2 people fighting.
Fighting over a battleground that they already fought through and resolved.
Yeah.
Harry becomes the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, which I liked, but also I thought he was in an 11-year-old's body, so I was really confused by that. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's still old, but it did seem like he was in an 11-year-old's body, and I'm just confused by it, to be honest.
Okay, well, that was our fanfic review. I think.
Wait. One more thing. Megafire says this is true. Taylor has her parents back, so you get Danny and Anne Herbert interacting, and it feels really strange. And it's like, I don't know how to feel about it. And Taylor knows that she's not from this world, and so her parents are kind of fake. But she's in this vibe of I don't know, do I not just want to live here?
That's one of those things where it's like, it's fake, but worth it, right?
Yeah.
So there were some other fanfics we found, but we didn't get a chance to read them, and nobody directly submitted them, which is a shame. But that's our fanfic review. Not usually a fanfic person, but I kind of got into some of these. So
I really liked them as well.
Now it's time for our
Can we
segment.
just take a summoning the next segment break for a second?
Yeah.
I think
sure.
we got to.
Okay, we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, see you in a bit, folks.
Hey everyone. We'll be back in a minute, but I just figured I'd come on and chat with everyone, see how everyone's going. I'm not sure where it is for everyone else, but we're just hitting the point where we were expecting to feel a bit down, and hopefully we'll be coming out of it soon. I'm glad you enjoyed the Mario Maker, Wilwick. I don't know if Reuben enjoyed my Mario Maker contributions, but I enjoyed his. That's a problem. Yeah, he did enjoy beating it in 10 seconds, Kipos. That's fair. I thought I was being so clever putting in that catsuit as a tease. I forgot about the twirly jump. Whoops. The morning light. Oh, where are you now or forever? Yes, Bird, I know what time it is where you are. Sorry, hold on, everyone. Figured out why my computer keeps going to sleep. Didn't plug it in. $3.18 DDev. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it. Thank you so much, Molly Fee. It's been a blast doing it. We've been enjoying the hell out of it. I hope that doesn't mean you've done an all-nighter, Thinker Zero. I'd hate to be responsible for that. Oh, Minnesota.
We back?
Yes.
We back, boyo?
You can tell two guys did the decorations. Hey, listen.
Oi! It was just one guy. I did it myself. Elliot was off getting some supplies. We're in the haunted abyss where parties go when they're forgotten. That's the theme.
Look, it was meant to be like abyssy themed, like dark, like Halloweeny.
Yeah.
Turns out March is not the time to try and find Halloween decorations in a rural Australian town.
Yeah. Did we catch this donation?
No, we didn't. The one from Jiso. Yeah. Which the message is it's like a frowny
like a smiley face,
but it's got a frown on it too.
Yeah, thanks, Jiso.
Fair enough, Kid Boss. Yeah, that's the one. Just put it in the chat as well. I'm not quite sure what it means. It's like very green eyes energy.
Reuben has the
decorating skills of two guys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So okay, it's time to let me just get this ready.
Should we show it off or
yeah? Let me just flip it.
Yeah, flip it, redirect it.
Whoa. Australia jokes incoming.
Oh, it's back to front as well.
Can we flip it horizontally?
Yeah, I don't know.
So we have found a way to communicate with the spirits.
Yep.
Using the mystical powers of the legendary Luigi board.
Yes. So we've got some questions that we're going to ask the spirits. Yeah, of course, this only works in a mirror because that's how it works.
Sorry, all of you are vestiges. I didn't want to break it to you like this.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Minnesota while you were gone.
Why?
There's a few listeners or watchers, I guess, at this point.
We call those not watchers.
Watchers in the night.
Whatever. X-Files.
Yeah. Okay. So we were just going to use the mystical power of the Luigi board to ask some questions
It's a me, Luigi.
That is what he says.
That's what he says. Spook of the ghosts, huh?
Just trying to see if we can flip the orientation. I don't think we can, unfortunately. Can everyone like read it?
It's only one letter at a time.
Yeah, hopefully you can still sort of get the letters.
We'll say it out loud as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going
No,
to... We
yeah.
can't flip it, Warwick. I'm sorry. I know you had a good idea with the vertical flip, but we can't match that idea with the horizontal flip.
Isn't happening. I mean, we
It's
could
a
just
me,
make it
Luigi.
upside down, and everyone can look at it upside down.
Yeah, would you rather it upside down? Just turn our... what if we turn the webcam upside down?
That's asking for trouble.
Yeah, I don't think we can.
Sorry. Yeah.
Wait, did we do the extension cord in that? Can we...
No, because the extension
'Cause it
cord
didn't
was
work,
breaking
that's
it.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, waha!
Too bad there's no Twitch Plays Pokemon way of doing this board. I agree. That would be so fun.
Yeah, I know. We thought about doing it some kind of thing.
But we will take audience questions for this.
Maybe we should start with the questions that we have here.
Yeah. We'll get started. But start.
Kyrgyzstan says upside down is easier than backwards. I think
Yeah.
that was probably right.
Yeah.
Let's go back to upside down style. Or we could do it upside. I mean, we don't need to see the letters.
Yeah, actually, that's true. The audience can read out the answers the spirits give us.
Yeah. You guys can answer it for us. Who is best girl is already one of our questions, Kip. I like your style.
Well, why don't we start with the first question we have here, as people start building them up, which is, what will the next Wild Bow story be? Okay, so how does this work?
You know, we just put our hands on it and we let the spirits... Oh my god, this is creepy. Are you moving it?
I'm not moving it.
That's a V,
V?
right? V? Vord. The vampire ward. C.
VC. Okay,
VC.
interesting.
Okay,
interesting.
Okay, so far I'm thinking venture capital.
What words start with VC?
Yeah. VC. What is it? It's going to be 4 letters, right? So that's
Yeah, well, presumably. VCO.
Okay. VCO. Okay.
Anybody know any words? Voice chat. Okay.
Okay.
1-1.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is so creepy. I'm actually not moving it.
M?
M. VCOM.
Vacom. Wild Bow.
Vacom.
Okay, what's Vacom about?
What is that? Now look, maybe the spirits are just calibrating a bit. Does anyone have any ideas about what VCOM might be?
VCom. Not XCOM? Yeah.
It's like a bit... Oh, voice communication. Okay. I like that.
Okay.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
Vampire com, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that could be said in the Pact verse.
Yeah.
Maybe a vampire trying to prove that they're not all terrible.
Yeah. Through communications or commerce, communism,
Communist vampire
vampire
serial.
communism. That's what it is. It's an evolution of Pact's critique of
They're
capitalism.
literal leeches, but also they're communists.
Ooh, I like vampire comedy. That's good. It's a divine venture communism, vampire communism.
Okay. Oh,
I like that.
interesting.
I like that. All right, what else we got?
Also, we had a request for the best girl.
Best girl from Kip. All right,
Yeah,
should we start
and
with that?
we had that already. Yeah.
Right. So I'll just start it somewhere and we can see where we go. I'm going to close my eyes. I think that'll make it better. No, I've changed my mind. I'm going to keep them open. T.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh, there's not that many characters that it could be there.
It'll take a while to spell out green eyes.
Yeah. T. Oh my god. Elliot, are you doing this?
No.
This is crazy.
I.
It's clearly spelling out Tiffany. This is
Taylor or
driving
Taylor?
me mental. Oh my god, guys, the spirits are making it happen. Please go to F. Oh my god. Oh my god, Elliot. It's happening.
I might be helping.
No,
you at this
please
point.
tell me you're not. Tiff. Alright, hold on.
Well, no, it could go off from here.
Yeah, well, how does it... It can't even go back to the same letter. Where's it going? It's taking a weird turn. Are there letters up here? It's a feather.
Feather?
It's the feather that makes you into the cape.
Well, no,
suit.
the spirits are shipping Tiff and Blake.
Oh, yeah, feather. Or Tiff and Evan, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there you go. There's the answer. The best girl is Tiff, shipped with Blake. So that's actually very hard anti-Green Eyes sentiments from the spirits there. Sorry.
Nathan Awake was suggesting it would spell Tiff Eyes, which is an interesting cross.
No, it's clearly...
There's some slash
The
fic.
spirits are... Oh. No, Elliot, come on. The spirits are clearly shipping Tiffany and Blake, which is interesting considering Green Eyes is commonly shipped with Blake. So it's actually coming against...
I think canonically Green Eyes is more...
Yeah, canonically, yeah.
More with Blake than Tiffany.
Oh, it's going down to game over. Game over for Green Eyes. Should we do another question?
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions from chat, or we can pull our next one in here?
No, okay. Let's do one about.
What about this one?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this question is: which arc is best, spirits?
Let's start it on the numbers.
Let's start on the Fireflower, and we can see where we get to from there.
7.
Which one's arc 7 again?
Void. The one where Blake gets got.
No, yeah, that's the one where he. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the conquest contest in proper.
Actually, well, it's a pretty good arc. I do quite like that arc. The end of the conquest contest. Is good.
My vote would have been 15 spirits, but that is a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's an unconventional.
Is there a
pick.
wrong answer?
What would the worst answer have been? 1? I mean, arc 1's good.
So the problem with arc, the problem with answering something like arc 1 is it's just like
it's
problem
fine. Like it's
that it's the introduction arc.
Exactly.
And you can't really fault it for that at the same time. Yeah.
What's everyone's least favorite arc in Pact? I'm kind of curious now.
I don't want to go down that route.
You reckon?
I don't think. No,
okay, don't post your least favorite arcs then. That's fine too. Should we do some more? Does anyone else have any other questions? We can do one more of our questions.
Yeah.
What about what's a 23, 17? 17, that is a good arc.
Yeah.
Which is the epilogue, presumably.
17's Megafire's least favourite because it doesn't exist. That's fair.
Yeah. Well, DDev went even hardcore. 23 doesn't exist way much more than 17 doesn't exist. What about this one? This one, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, Gibbos is vetoing these spirits because they said Diff was best girl. All right.
Okay.
So the question here is, where is Rose at the end of after the story? What happens to Rose?
Where did Rose end up after the story?
Okay. That's
W?
W. Yep.
Okay. A?
Yeah, that looks like an A.
Waluigi.
Yeah, I feel like it's starting to spell out Waluigi. What? Maybe it was going to go for like Wisconsin or Washington, like a state like that.
Is that N?
N? Wan?
One?
What?
She won.
Wan. No, W-A-N.
Oh, yeah, Wan. Yeah, okay.
Where's it going? It's going over here. Want. Does it have more to go? Is it going?
Yeah.
Where's it going?
Wanty.
Wanty.
Wanted.
Wanted. Where's she? She's wanted. Okay.
Bit of a political
it's
answer.
Not really
from the
an answer,
spirits
spirits. Yeah, I don't know what is trying to be said here. But okay. Yeah, she's wanted. Okay.
Should we jump into the rest of the... we have some more drawings to do.
Oh, yeah. We've got to finish out our drawings. A Rose on the Lamb from Palsoni. Yeah. So, spirits, thank you for... Well, let's thank the spirits. Thank you, spirit. Thank you for blessing us with your knowledge. Thank you.
Yeah, that went about as well as I expected it to.
Yeah.
Which is...
Yeah.
It's
money
over.
well spent. On the Luigi board. How much money? Don't worry about it. What are we doing now? Are we done? Is it 24 hours?
Kit Boss was made very uncomfortable by you stroking that boo.
You have to thank the ghosts for their performances. I mean spirits.
Okay, so we only have one fan art drawing left, so we will both be taking participation. I'm losing the English language as we go.
You're doing better than me. I lost it.
So this is Funderfulness wanted us to do Barbie chucking some others on the Barbie. Nathan Awake says, if I was a practitioner, my implement would be the Luigi board.
I could see that. It's like a dialed up version of Alistair.
Yeah. But like themed.
Yeah, the Luigi board specifically, not just a Ouija board.
Stroking the spirits. No, I'm not finishing that.
Where is it?
That's
Oh yeah. Yeah, nice.
It's like a magic lamp. Okay, so we're gonna launch into what is currently the last of our fanfic. Fan art requests.
Yep.
So, and this is the most Australian of them all. Barbie chucking some others on the Barbie.
Are there any shrimp themed others? I guess Green Eyes is the closest we've got, huh?
Yeah.
Right, well, that's where that's going. What's this? Oh, the tarot thing, yeah. Alright.
Okay.
So again, a competition, and whoever loses has to drink the vomit drink.
Yes.
Alright, we
So,
ready?
get ready to vote on your Barbie.
I'm going to lose if I put Green Eyes on the Barbie. I can't do that now. People will not vote for me. Alright.
Okay, ready, steady, go. That is not coming up. Oh, I'm not off to a great start. I can't find a colour that's going to show up. There we go. How the hell am I drawing? You know what's funny? Like, were you following some of that fan art Nocturne was doing for the Ratcatcher Love Lost stuff?
The Chicken Little.
Yeah, but she whips up like the frame of the people in like 5 minutes, and it looks so much better.
How do they do it? And ours is so terrible.
I don't understand
Why
how you
is yours
achieve
so
this.
clear and mine is so not clear on the stream?
Because I picked a dark color. You got to get
Spent
dark
ages
colors
getting-
for it
My
to show
colour
up.
is dark. It's the darkest color.
It's not.
I was drawing Barbatorum. He's the darkest character.
So, got to get the wormy stuff that's going on with him late in the game. I don't think that's coming across at all. This is the worst one I've done yet, I think. And like that's strong competition.
Why is the only thing I can draw a barbecue? Am I actually that Australian that the only thing I know how to draw is a goddamn fucking barbecue?
I haven't drawn my
Fuck
barbecue
me.
yet. Shit.
Well, it's actually not that good. It's ended up looking more like a treasure chest, so I take it back.
Oh, what?
Does Barbatorum have like legs? What does he do? What does he do again? He just like doesn't walk around though. He like teleports through reflections. Okay, how can I incorporate that in? How do feet?
I have actually upgraded my Barbatorum. I'm very interested to talk about it at the end of the 5 minutes.
2.0.
Okay, and who are the others he's chucking on the Barbie? Can I have suggestions for who the others are that I'm going to put on my Barber? Please, nothing too hard.
I'm gonna make these patches of raw flesh really look gross.
Green eyes. Okay, I'll put a green eyes
I'm
on.
giving him some hairy legs. That's what the barber's like. Because he can't. That's the irony about the barber is the one hair he can't cut is his own leg hair. It's like his curse. Some yellow to make some pus in these wounds. That's what you want to see with your barbecue monster.
I have some faceless woman head. Yep, I'll take that. I'll take that freebie. Thank you very much.
What's a good other that he can put? Well, he would obviously want to cook up the defenestration, man.
Some demons. Oh, yep. Okay, I'll put on there. Okay, that's an The freezing tentacle monster. Oh, from the drains.
Yeah.
From the drains, yeah. I like that. That's more... I've run out of room on my barbecue. My Barbatorum... Oh, actually, I've got some tentacles here. Tentacle.
Time's up. No, let's keep going. I've got more to draw. I need to draw more defenestration man bits.
Mine kind of comes with the need for an explanation. Just, I don't know about yours.
No, mine's perfect as is. It needs no explanation.
Okay.
But it needs a little bit more time.
Is that a charcoal or a propane barbecue? Funderfulness, you know more about barbecues than I do. Mine is a gas barbecue. I think that's propane.
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you for reminding me to fill it out more. I forgot to go back and do that. Needs a gas tank, huh?
Oh, I did a gas tank on mine already. Oops, sorry.
Okay, yeah, you good to go, Reuben?
Yeah.
Time is up.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you, Nathan. That's.
Why is why is it always fucking elves with you? I swear to God.
I just like the green because it shows up on the stream.
Okay.
Okay. So let me just explain mine. So first of all, he's got this orange apron that says "Cut the Cook."
Yeah.
Then he's wearing a chef's hat too, and these dark little squiggles on him. That's the wormy stuff from when he's losing his Johanna's body. That doesn't stop him from cooking up a storm. You see he's got his special spatula shears here. I've upgraded him. So he's got a fairy on there. It's got little brown wings. I don't know if that's coming across. Tentacle monster. Then we got a green eyes. That's that black squiggle. And that's the faceless woman's face.
Yeah, it's nice and pink as her face is, yeah. All right, well, it's time for my one. So obviously this is the barber. He's asking, do you want a whole or half cut? He's got a beautiful cuts of meat apron and his shears that he's using to cut up the meat and spatula. I didn't think to combine those. That's actually so good. He's got his gas barbecue over here and the meat that he's cooking up. the meat that he's cooking up is the defenestration man in his nice ill-fitting suit who's been chopping him up and
Wait, so what does the apron say?
it says cuts of meat with a love heart on
Nice,
it.
nice.
Yeah.
So we both went for apron puns.
Yeah,
I
know,
like
right?
that.
And he's saying whole or half cut, which is like, what do you want? What do you want to eat? Which I thought was good.
Yeah, and so he's cooking the defenestrator. Oh, he's
man,
chopped
yeah.
up the defenestrator.
Yeah, because that's what his whole gimmick.
Wouldn't that be like this curse of Barbatorum?
Mega57 says that's a better defenestration man than my actual defenestration man. But he had big hands to push him out the window.
What I like about like your barber is it gives me this idea of like because you can just imagine like Barbatorum.
It's like him as a dad. So you know how he's Blake's dad? It's him like as Blake's dad, like cooking up some meat for
on
the
the
family
weekends.
barbecue. Like, oh, what do you want?
No, I
kids?"
love the idea of the barber wanting to have a barbecue and not being able to because every time he chops the meat, he gets two full things of meat.
He can't chop meat. He's like feeding them on the fish and bread on the
He just
mountain.
keeps getting these violent carcasses of animals.
Yeah, he keeps getting really shitty tasting, meat because he cuts it into shitty tasting parts. All right, folks.
Yeah. So throw in your votes.
Is it
we have
mine or Elliot's Barbatorum throwing others on the Barbie?
yeah.
Oh shit! First vote, the pivotal vote. Oh no.
I think we've got 2 each.
What? 1, 2. Green Barbie. Oh no, Elliot. Oh. No, yeah. The spatula shears, I think, won it for you that time, Elliot. Congratulations.
She's what spatula is. I don't know.
We'll stick it on the
workshop
fridge. I got a few votes. That wasn't too decisive, but I think you did end up winning.
Yeah, that was close. That was closer than most of them have been. Most of
God, it doesn't get any better. It's lovely.
points for drawing a monster we never see with our eyes. Is that
Yeah, true. How would you draw
I mean,
it?
I did a black squiggle. That kind of encapsulates for me.
Why did I fucking put Aperol in this? Oh, it's making me shudder. Like, physically shudder.
It's a friendly spirit, isn't it?
So kind of friendly spirit that thinks Tiffany is best girl. A not very friendly spirit.
Sorry, I just restarted the recording. Oh, did that just continue? No, okay.